I was diagnosed with COPD in 2006, and I have to say, even though I've been smoking for a very long time, it still came as a surprise because I was able to do everyday things. It was a cluster of infections, one after one, and in and out of hospital and all of this. You were just told, give up cigarettes and just keep well. I mean, that was it. There was no community. There was no getting in touch with anybody if there was something going on, or even going to your local doctor at the time. When you had, and she'd say, "There's nothing else I can do for you," or "We've given you all the antibiotics. We've given you all the steroids." So then you were at a loss, kind of. You'd be sent into hospital. They'd nebulise you and they'd send you home. So even then, you weren't getting. You didn't really know where to go from there. I mean, it was just in and out, and nobody really knew what to do with you, really. At one stage, my doctor sent me into hospital because I was very sick, and they just nebulized me and told me, go home. I mean, and I said, I don't know what to do. And they said, basically it was kind of in your head that you were getting so anxious that you were getting breathless at that stage. So then you felt that you were getting over anxious about it, so you weren't able to deal with it. So it was a very scary time. It's a very long night when you're feeling very sick, and I'm afraid of losing my independence, because at stages when I'm very sick, even taking a shower is exhausting. Just doing daily things is exhausting. I mean, you just feel so tired, so overwhelmed. And you do get scared, because I don't want to lose that. I don't want to be the person that somebody has to come in and help. And I know I have plenty of people to do it, but I don't want it. Not right now, anyway. So I do get scared, especially when I'm getting a very bad exacerbation of infections and stuff. And it knocks you. It really does knock you, but you get up and you do it, and you walk around the house a few times, and you sit down a few times just to build yourself up again. I think now is way, way better. I mean, the services, the information is just marvellous. I think once I got sent into a consultant, which is Bob Rutherford, he's brilliant. He just took everything so seriously. He just dealt with me, with how sick I was, and did everything he could to make things easy. And then he sent me to the rehab, the exercise rehab up in Merlin Park years ago, and that was the turning point for me. I was very sick at the time. Having a respiratory nurse on the other end of the phone was just absolutely marvellous for me. I know when I did the rehab thing, it was in Merlin Park, but now it's in Carrow Row, my local place, I was talking to people that's doing it at the moment, and they just find it absolutely marvellous because they couldn't go into Merlin Park. Having somebody to talk to on the phone, not even when you're sick, just to ask other questions. In the last 9 years, it's just been marvellous, the care and I felt I could talk to somebody about it. When you're trying to explain to somebody who doesn't have COPD that when you're sick, it's kind of like getting air through a straw. And that's how you feel. I'm trying to get air into your lungs, and it's through a straw. It's that bad. And trying to explain that to somebody like your GP or somebody that doesn't understand it is very hard. And I'm not blaming them, because obviously if you're not going through it, you can't understand it. But once you got into your respiratory team, they knew without you even trying to explain to them. They knew what you were talking about, and they helped you. They gave you the tools to deal with it, which is marvellous. When you get diagnosed, you are very sick at that point. but it does get better. It really does. I mean, it's just to keep going, not to give up, because it's very easy to give up, especially when you're getting very sick. But if you do 5 minutes around the house today, you can do 6 minutes tomorrow, then 10 minutes down the road the day after. I mean, it is, and there are going to be weeks that you can't do that because you're sick. But you get up after that and you have to keep moving.